business is John Bixby's no longer a member of the board, so we have a vacant position. Mitch has been nominated, so we need to agree that we need to vote him in.
I move that we appoint Mitch Inman to fulfill the unexpired term of John Bixby.
Just a quick point. I assume he tendered a resignation.
No, he has not tendered a
Okay.
resignation, but I will contact him and have him send.
Well, the second way to handle that as a board is to, in non-compliance, in other words, he's basically left town.
He's deserving.
The board can say, well, due to his moving, we can have a motion to take him off the board.
Okay.
He's no longer eligible.
Well,
Yeah.
let's,
He's no longer
let's do the
eligible.
motion then,
Yeah.
Right.
now.
So
We're gonna
since
put
John,
that motion up
Right.
and vote it.
so I'll put the motion up, since John Bixby is no longer a property owner of Waverly Acres, therefore he vacates his, or forfeits his position on the board. All in favor?
Any opposed?
Get it seconded, then
Yeah.
all in favor.
Yeah. So,
Any opposed?
no, I don't think anybody's opposed.
Okay.
Everybody in favor of Mitch fulfilling his position,
Then you gotta do it the same process.
so.
Anybody wanna nominate? Second.
Alan's already nominated, I'll
Yeah.
second.
That way the
Yeah.
rules of order are
Right.
intact. Okay.
All right.
Mo.
Oh, well, one thing is
Did we vote for this?
Yeah.
We did vote for this.
Kristen Skillen came down to my house yesterday, and she's got a lot of barn swallows and they're flying to her entryway. And she's hung up some caution streamers that she got from Home Depot or somewhere. And she just was concerned that somebody was gonna turn her in for decorating her house. I mean, she was concerned about it. I'm not making a joke about that. But she just wanted me to, she wanted to know who the vice president was, and I told her, and I said, we're gonna have this meeting tomorrow, you wanna come? And she said, she probably couldn't make it, and I just told her that I would mention it to you, and
Okay.
I told her I don't think it'll be a problem, but she said it's a temporary deal, just trying to keep them until they quit nesting, and then she'll take them down. But with your concurrence, I'll just send her a text and tell her that I told the board. And
Yeah.
does anybody think that's going to be a problem?
I thought that's what it was for. I knew it was either the
Do
barn
they work?
swallows or a crime scene.
Well, do they work?
I don't know.
Do not cross.
She just did it. She was concerned that she was going to get a letter on the deal.
If it's a temporary deal, I don't see there's
Yeah.
I don't think there's an issue. So,
I think a pellet gun works better, but, you know, hey, that's just.
Who works better?
A
What?
pellet gun, but that's,
Oh,
that's
oh,
Jack's philosophy for what it's
there's
worth.
too many of them. You'd be out there all day long shooting. They're camped out at my house as well.
Kristen Skillen.
Hey, we can have a swallow shoot.
All right, so there's no problem with that.
No.
Okay.
Another thing is the insurance, Jack and I got the copy from the people at the insurance company, Falcon Insurance, and we've got two policies, and the one that's due is, for $928, and we need to, do you want me to, pay for that? And then there's another one due, another policy, for $515, that's gonna come due in June.
What are they for?
What are they for? I know that one is only for common area stuff.
I don't know what they're for, to tell you the truth. Alan, I gave Alan a copy of it, and you were gonna check with some people that you knew on exactly what they.
I brought those back. I brought those back to Joanne, by the way.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. One of them was officers and directors insurance. Covers liability for the officers and directors of the association. The other one covers if somebody's harmed on the runway mowing or something of that nature. So those policies were already in place. We're just renewing them. I don't think it's going to be any big deal. They need to be renewed. If the premiums haven't escalated significantly, then those policies were in place during the past 2 or 3 administrations, and we need to continue them.
So do we need to
Just
vote
pay
on
'em.
paying them or what?
Yeah, well, I just need to know if y'all want me to pay for it. The 515 policy, I believe, was for, if the tractor caught on fire or somehow somebody stole it. I believe one of those policies was.
Well, we had to insure the mower because it was financed.
Yeah, but then we paid for it and we never did cancel the policy. And,
Well, we still need to have a policy on it in case something happens to it. We need to carry some coverage, I would think, on it would be smart.
okay, well, I'll.
I mean, it's a pretty expensive machine to replace. If we had to replace it, it's pretty expensive.
All right, that takes care of that. And one other thing is, I had told everybody through one of my little letters that I sent out at the first of the month that I was going to help with the watering, and Kurt was going to help with the watering. But I'm gonna pass on that, after thinking about it. I've got several reasons why I don't wanna do it. Kurt is taking on a full-time job starting next Wednesday, so he's not gonna be able to do it, which means Alan is gonna have to do it all by himself, and I don't think that, if we don't do a real good job of watering the runway, the money that we spend on True Green is not gonna be real effective. Now, I go out and check the runway once a week and drive up and down it and see how it's doing. I am very satisfied with what it looks like. It doesn't look great yet because it really hasn't had the care that it needed for 20 years, really. We just started watering it the last 4 or 5 years. Not really was a help, but we really haven't been putting the fertilizer and weed killer that we needed to on it. I'm satisfied with it. I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but I go out there and look at it. It's a little bit behind on greening up, but they're gonna do fertilization in the next 2 weeks, just like they're gonna do my house in the next 2 weeks, and Steve's. So I'm satisfied with it, but we have to put water on it, and what we could do is get Tanner and Jordan, the 2 guys that do the mowing. That's one possible solution. They could come out, they're gonna be out here for 5 hours. They could set it up and then turn it around, and one day, that would take care of one day. The watering needs to be done 4 days. You can go through the whole cycle in 4 days. It's got 8 stations, and you do each station 2 times, you turn it 180 degrees. Now, that gives you the equivalent of 1 inch of water on the runway per week, and that's what it needs. It's about 1 inch of water a week. You can do it for 4 days and then rest for 3 days and then start up again. And get that every 7 days it'll get 1 inch. If it rains to where you think it's getting approximately 1 inch of water, then you can stop the cycle and start it over again in 3 days. So it's a real simple deal to do, really. But I think that Alan needs some help, and I think it would be a good idea. Some of the people that use, if we talk to them nice, and some of the people that use the runway quite a bit, if they would help out. It would take about 45 minutes of your time, 2 times a day, for just 1 day a week. And, I don't think it's too much to ask. That's one possible solution.
Can I have a recommendation?
Plus Jordan and Tanner can do it, or a possible solution. But I think Alan does need some help. He's a busy businessman, and he can't always do it.
What
So
you got?
what do y'all think?
What you got,
Can I
Ken?
make a recommendation about that? Can you not do it on the weekend? I mean, people are trying to fly out there. It's a distraction, really, I think.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we can do it during the week. I don't think those kids work on the weekend anyway.
It's, as long as I'm around there, which is a fair amount of the time, I could set it up and do it. I can go out in the morning and put it up. The problem is we're getting more and more houses on that side of the runway that over the years have been built. I mean, the line was put over on that side of the runway because of the well is on that side of the runway. And so, as more and more people have built over there, it's getting more and more challenging to, when you put that thing out during the day, you got somebody that says, hey, I'm gonna fly today. And I try to text everybody ahead of time and say, hey, are you gonna be flying today? I'm getting ready to put the water machine out across your station. And that seems to work pretty well. But the morning for me is a better time to put it out than the evening. But the evening's more convenient in terms of you're not interfering with somebody's access to the runway, and you're not interfering if somebody's gonna fly during the day, and you're not gonna have water out there to deal with. So really, almost needs to be done in the evenings and run overnight. So it's going to take more than 4 days to do it. If you're doing it only once, it's going to take a week to get it from one end to the other.
Well, if you do it, if you set it up in the morning, is what I base it on, then going out there sometime before it gets dark and do it again.
That's what I'm saying. The problem is that somebody's flying.
Right.
If Rusty's flying, and let's say I wind up down there toward his house and put it out early in the morning, and he's flying, he's going to have to, taxi around, avoid it.
It doesn't bother me a bit where that thing is.
Oh, it's not going to be a challenge to you? Okay. Well, I didn't want to put it up where somebody's going to have to be flying through that water.
So no weekend
But if
sprinkling?
If the morning's not a real problem for most people, we can I can continue to go ahead and put it out in the morning and just notify people that I'm going to have it out in a certain area, and if that's a problem for somebody, then they can just let me know.
And
I mean, you know what, it affects Kitty,
If you know, if you
Kitty
do
and
500 feet a
Bixby
day
house.
for, you know, a week, for 8 days or whatever it takes, then you
Right.
can, if you do it that way, then you have to just about do it every day. If you cover 1,000 feet a day, then you can do nothing for 3 days and hope for rain, then you got 3 more days.
If we get a nice, you know, we get a wet spring, early summer, hopefully that'll help some. But when it's real dry for weeks at a time, it's pretty tough to keep up with it. So I'll do it some, and if maybe those boys can do it some as well, I'll take a little bit of the,
I can send you their contacts if you want to coordinate with them. I'm sure they would be willing to do it. They do anything for.
the only vehicle we've got right now to do it is my tractor, which I've loaned to the association for free for 10 years. And I don't mind if they want to use my tractor, that's fine. We can.
They're both very responsible young men, and of course, you know, we trust them with our mower, so they're both checked out on the mower.
Well, when you water, do you just do the 30 feet in the center, or you do the whole runway?
No, it gets a good part of it. It reaches out 80, 90 feet.
Well, the reason I ask, you know, the weeds look better than the runway does. I'm disappointed you took 30 feet, 4,000 feet. That's not what I agreed to. I mean, we built it 125 feet wide. So let's do the whole runway. I don't like that. It's the whole runway or it's nothing.
Are you talking about what True Green is doing?
I'm talking about the runway. I don't care what anybody does. You do the whole runway. The weeds look great on the side, they're green. Now, down the center, I don't care. Let's forget about it. Let's do the whole runway.
Okay, that's just gonna cost,
Well, we're not gonna use True Green anymore. They're gone, as far as I'm concerned. I told you this before.
Well, I don't know, if you can just tell us that, Ted, that's something that the board is deciding on. Is that legal for Ted to just tell us to quit using True Green?
You wanna vote?
I don't know, I'm asking Jack, I don't know.
Well-
We agreed that we were gonna do it, if you're telling us not to do it,
Do the
I'm
runway.
asking, can you legally tell us not to do it?
Do the whole runway, Mo. Do the whole runway.
And I
Not
understand what
just-
Ted's saying. He said instead of treating the middle of the runway, let's do the entire runway. If we're gonna do
That's
it,
right.
let's
Let's
do
do it.
the entire thing.
That's what it was built for.
So,
That's no problem with me. Now, we can't quite water the whole runway.
We're set up to do.
On the western edge, we can't
Right.
quite
So
get
the
there.
whole
How
runway
far can we
lights-
get over
lights
it?
and
We can do about
Right.
25 feet from
We're
the
doing
other
the
side,
whole runway.
from the west side.
It gets most of the runway.
Okay, that's fine.
It shoots out nearly 100 feet.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
now,
fine.
we pay $868, 9 times a year. And that includes a lot of different things. Some of it's, pre-emergent, some of it's post-emergent, some of it's sulfur, some of it's
Yeah.
fertilizer, you know, different things during the year, whatever they say that they think we need. Now, we pay for 931,000 square feet is what we pay for. And that makes up, almost the whole runway, not quite all the way to both ends, but almost, and it goes out, 80 feet, 80 feet down the middle, and that leaves a little bit on each side. Now, if you want me to get a figure for the whole runway, that's what the board wants to do, or if you want to just discontinue doing it,
well,
just let me know, you know.
I've been out on the runway, and me and you discussed this. I'm not really that impressed with with the service that they have provided. And I get it, it's springtime, and there's a lot of stuff going on with the grass and weeds and things of that nature. I say we give them to at least the 1st of June. If there's no great improvement, I don't see why we need to be spending that money on something that's, you see what I'm saying? 'Cause
Well, what it is, I went out there and I go out there and look at it. Now, there's Bermuda just about all the way up and down it. Some of it hasn't come out yet, and some of it has.
but it should be out by June.
If you look at the runway, down the runway, there's a patch down the middle. It's a very distinct line of where the trash starts and stops on both sides of the runway. It's very distinct if you look at it. I can see what they want to charge for the whole runway. It'd probably be, I'm estimating at least about 60% more than what we're
Mo,
paying right now.
you're not listening to what I'm saying. We're gonna give them till June 1st. If we don't see any improvement, we're not gonna pay them for anything.
Well, now, is that what everybody wants to do now? On the board. This is
Yeah, that's a
something
board
we should
decision,
all-
that's not
Yeah,
just an individual decision.
Sounds reasonable.
I mean, I've been out
Well,
there.
we need to make a motion about this, or go through this recommendation.
No, finish.
I've been out there on the runway, and hey, I get it, it's wintertime, everybody's yard looks like crap because the spring weeds are coming up. That's why I say let's give it to the 1st of June, because the community should be coming in and looking pretty decent by that time frame. Especially with the amount of rain that we've had. I say by the 1st of June, if we don't have any improvement, my recommendation is that we discontinue the use of True Green.
Well, why don't we, we had talked about doing it for this year, seeing how it worked. If it wasn't impressive, I mean, everybody said, hey, we won't know, it's a little, let's see what the results are, if we wanna continue it. So we kind of agreed to go ahead and do it through this year.
How long have we been doing this?
Just,
You started, what, September or October?
Mo, when did
I
you
think it was
We had 2 treatments. One of them included the aerating, and then they put out some pre-emergent stuff. And I don't think we really had a real good shot of fertilizer yet. The guy told me to put it down. He's got some really good stuff that's going to make the grass very, very green, but it's not. He hadn't put it out yet. We've got about another 2 weeks to go on that.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
now-
I was concerned about killing too much stuff originally. The very first time we talked about this, I was concerned about, we don't want to kill too much, because some of that underlying grass
It's the base of.
is actually
Right.
good for landing the airplanes on.
Exactly.
But the, if we give them, and let's go ahead and look and see, let's see what kind of improvement we have, engage it based on that. And I concur, I hate to set an arbitrary date of June 1st, but if we don't,
That's the 1st of.
we don't
June.
see something by the time, I mean, Bermuda really grows best when it's 90 degrees. And so once we get up to some higher temperatures, some 80s, high 80s on a consistent basis and get some sun on it, and if it flourishes and looks great, then we go ahead and go forward with it, at least through this year and, or this fiscal year, and then if it doesn't, then we reassess.
That's all we told them we were gonna do to begin with. If you
And
can't,
we've
if you
got it.
can't give us something for $9,000 a year, or whatever we're paying, then we certainly will not keep doing it. So, I mean,
We have a 30-day cancellation.
Right.
clause, so we're not locked into this thing for a year.
What part of this treatment's gonna make the runway smooth? Because it's the roughest I've ever seen it.
I don't think anything True Green is doing.
Nah, we're gonna have to bring that roller out there and roll it.
Okay, because
We paid $1,200 for
Yeah.
a roller a couple of years ago. It was articulating,
We're gonna have to roll it.
vibrating roller that you could feel all over. But we paid $1,200 for it because it was on the property at Kenny's place. And
Yeah, I'm gonna
it
get
wasn't
that
that
guy to
effective
do that.
because the ground was too dry. Now, we can get it again, and I can pursue that if you want me to.
Well, say put the
do we
roller
need
on
to
it
have
right
sand?
now.
Do we need to have sand in places out there?
again,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna disagree with that.
Down there's a lot of low places down there on Meade, and that's when we get that water machine going out there, it goes in both directions back to my turnout. So, man, you get a lot of water down there, and it don't take long to see how low, there's some spots there. Just saying.
Okay, now, the rest of the year now, Ted, are you saying that you want us to expand what we've got for the rest of the
Well,
year?
the whole
However long we
runway,
go?
the expense put in there, putting that runway in, was specifically done. If you're gonna knock this down to 30 feet, then you might as well just replat the whole place and not worry about Kevin's fence or anybody else, and just bring it in. No, when we talked, Mo, I wanted a whole runway done.
Well, let's do it then. If you want to do that, I'll get a price,
I mean,
I'll send out a text
No,
to everybody.
no. If you guys are stuck on, let's give them till June or September 1st, that's fine. But I can tell you after that, this is gonna change, they're gonna be gone.
Right. If
I
there's
can
no
guarantee
improvement,
that.
and
Even if
I
there
agree.
is, no, you're gonna do the whole runway.
Right.
Well, you talking about lights to lights?
Right, 125 feet.
Okay.
Well, I can do that. That's no, I didn't.
Well,
I
why
mean,
did
there's
you,
never been anything but weeds out there for 10 years I've been there.
well, still, do you wanna leave it weeds?
It's just
I
a matter of the
did what-
expense of treating.
What we all talked about doing, Ted. I didn't, this isn't something that Mo brings up. I didn't bring it
Well,
up.
the people we had before, Agape, they did the whole runway for half of what we're talking about here.
They weren't doing anything. whatever y'all want.
They only treat it twice a year. So if Agape would've came out and treated as many times as True Green, we'd have been looking at about the same price. And that's an option we can look at
All
too,
right, well,
Ted.
let's make it apples and apples, that's
Right.
fine. Because this stuff, I don't know.
Right,
But we're
so-
doing the whole runway.
So
Not
we
just
can get a
30
price from Agape and be like, hey, this is what we got from True Green. What is your price for you to come out and do the same exact treatment?
Yeah, you're gonna
they
have to
gave?
match True Green for all the times they come out. Let's
Exactly,
see what Agape says.
right.
And then let's end this. Go on to the next issue. Not now, but
Are
whenever.
you saying that you want us to stop this no matter what happens? Is that-
No,
No, again, never mind.
Well,
No, no,
we
no.
can't say never mind, we gotta figure out what.
He's saying if there is no improvement and if we can't do the entire runway, then don't do it at all.
I agree with that 100%.
Okay, and then
all I
let's say we give them their opportunity.
We do have agreement on this issue.
Right.
No,
But there is one little difference, is that when the runway was redone, when you and Jim redid that runway, it's not all the way lights to lights. The only part that was, where the clay was brought in, was about the center,
Well, this I don't know.
60, 70 feet.
Okay.
So from there on out, there's 40 feet on each side, that's the original old dirt.
Right.
And it doesn't grow Bermuda so well, I mean, it's not,
100 feet ought to do it. I don't
It gets
think
real
we're
dry.
Because the runway's 125 foot. We're treating 100 foot. So what's half of 25?
It really isn't 100, Jack. It's
You're not,
like
you're not,
80. Okay, so 12 and a half.
23 and a half more.
But,
Yeah.
the composition of the runway is not the same all the way across. The center 60 feet or 70 feet probably, half of it is actually where the clay was brought in and built up, and the rest of it's the old original pasture.
well, if we can bring in more stuff, since this is our crown jewel.
Yes.
That's the most important thing we have at the airport, not anybody's house or anything else, it's that runway.
All right, well, I'll call him and I'll have him do the whole runway. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you want me to do?
No,
No.
just keep doing, let's,
Keep
no,
doing
because
what
then,
we are doing
Yeah.
at this time frame. If we
let's see
elect,
what, that's right,
if
go
we,
ahead.
if we see improvement and we are impressed by them, September, when we renew our contract, then we will say, hey, can you add an additional 25 or how many square foot and how much it will cost? Then we will get with Agape. Hey, this is what True Green's doing it for. Can you provide us the same service and what can you provide it for? And then whichever one is the cheapest is the one that we'll go with.
In summary.
So,
What's next?
that's pretty much it. For the people that showed up late, as y'all can tell, the mail issue's been taken care of. I met with the safety people week before last,
The mail
and
issue?
just pretty much said, hey, there's gotta be some type of common sense
Yeah, well,
agreement here. We've had one occasion where a mail carrier has come into contact with an airplane in the last 20 years. And I said, I'm quite sure if the person operating the plane would have known that was the mail carrier, they probably would have yielded right away instead of coming across as you would delivering the mail. So their mail carrier has been told, hey, if you see an airplane, just kind of avoid it. If you're flying an airplane and you see the mail carrier, just kind of avoid them.
So we don't have to worry about
No.
rewriting the section 6.3 or
Nothing.
whatever.
None of that. None of that. Now, I pulled the original plat, which is on file at the courthouse. If you go to the courthouse, go to the basement, you can get the original plat for any subdivision in this neighborhood. There's nothing on the original plat that states that any road inside of Waverly Acres is dual purpose. So I talked to the commissioners. The commissioner said, if the plat has been established before the vote came through, then it is not going to articulate that on the paper. I said, so is there anything that I can find that says, hey, the roadways are dual purpose? He goes, yeah, we can go back to the meeting notes back in 2000 or whenever, 98 or whenever it was. And I said, well, hold on. Now it's a non-issue, so we're not even worried about it. So
Yeah.
And how's our situation on the president and vice president here?
I'm the president.
You reinstated
Yes,
yourself?
yes, I agree. Well, Ted,
So we agree.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I've had a discussion with the board.
Have we told the neighborhood this? That
No,
you reinstated yourself?
not
as
yet.
president?
Not yet.
He
I'll put out
resigned.
Well, I think we already know.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Well, your resignation letter never
Yeah,
was accepted.
they never accepted my resignation,
Oh,
so,
well, we don't know that.
yeah.
We didn't.
Yeah,
know.
most of the stuff doesn't get out to.
Right.
Yeah.
So we didn't know they didn't accept it, we didn't know.
So, what I would ask, and it's like I have asked the board members, you know, if we have an issue like a mail issue or some other issue, that I'm not telling you what you can and can't do because it's a free country.
Right, we understand.
But I had to go in and put out a lot of fires with this mail issue over people that were like, well, the FAA says this and the FAA says that. Well, the FAA has zero. They have nothing to do with our airport. It's a private facility.
Well, thank you for taking care of that.
State law resides over what goes on at our airport, you know? So, I don't have a problem with y'all going and trying to fix things, but come to one of us and say, hey, this is my idea and I plan on going and taking care of this. Hey, not a problem. You know, and then I've got people that are trying to state what the post office should and shouldn't do. If you don't work for the post office, don't tell them how to do the job. You know, it'd be like me telling you how to work on elevators or something. I don't know anything about an elevator or escalator except getting on it and riding it up to the top. You know, so if I've got a question, I'm going to come ask you about it. You know?
We're not voting on anything else.
No, we're not.
No.
All right. Did y'all have any other questions?
Yeah,
No, that,
Just about this mail thing raises an issue. For liability purposes, should there be caution signs or something that we should be looking at? It's just an open question.
you know what? That's a good question too. And I talked to the safety people about that. And I also, was it you, Mitch, I talked to? It wouldn't be bad to maybe put out a sign here, low flying aircraft. You know, it's not going to hurt anything. It's better to have it not need it than need it and not have it. You know,
it's like
and
a kid sign.
exactly. Which some people don't care
I
because
know.
they still do 90 miles an hour. So,
We know that.
So that's a recommendation.
that's a recommendation. Low flying aircraft. I
How
got,
about, I would say I would also put taxi in on there.
yeah,
Well, that's low flying.
yeah,
Yeah.
The sign would probably need to be closer to 150 than it is.
exactly, yes. Go ahead, Keith.
Previous meeting, the management company was brought up, and I was wondering if there was anything additional information that you care to tell us about.
I'm going to send everyone an email and I want your input.
About what, I'm sorry?
The management company.
Oh.
I want your input. Your input is what's going to decide whether or not the
Good,
management
yeah.
company stays or
Don't
goes.
like it.
I'll tell you that they provided me zero assistance with this mail deal.
Right.
Zero.
So what's the purpose?
This is my,
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna send an email. This is my outlook on the management company. They've provided their service for what we needed them for. If we go to court, the management company's not gonna represent us.
So it's.
They're gonna give us a list of attorneys. They're gonna give us a list of attorneys that we can hire. We can go out and find our own attorney to represent us if we have to go to court over some issue. Now, will it look better if we say, hey, we've got DTA here, they're a management company, they come in and make sure that we stay in compliance within the state law, this, that, and the other? Yeah, that's gonna look good for us. But as far as representing us in court, they're not gonna represent us. So,
No management companies do that.
right,
And you're gonna summarize that in an email?
yeah, yeah. So,
So you're gonna get the input, I'm sorry to interrupt.
yeah, I'm gonna get the input from everybody.
Memberships and
And we'd also
Take
talk
that into
about
consideration.
a certain amount of money that.
that was my next question, yeah.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a cap on,
Yeah, and I was working on that email, and then there were some emails sent out, and I was like, look, I'm not dealing with this. I have a full-time job. Sometimes it's 2 full-time jobs. I may work 80 hours in a week. And there were some emails sent out that I wasn't privy to, and I'm starting to get phone calls about stuff going up in the neighborhood and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So I kind of went on a whim and said, look, I don't need this type of drama in my life, but I think we've rectified that and we can fix that issue. So,
All right, you need a motion to
adjourn.
adjourn. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second, 30.
all right.
Thank y'all.
That's good, yeah.